Oh,
Oh, go ahead, Tommy.
yes. I
Sorry,
I
mate.
misheard the pre-game comms, and that's gonna be the start of week 4 for sure. Me and Smokey on the desk are getting a little bit of confusion in, but tonight we have Sadness and Resurrection fighting it out for week 4. This is actually, I believe, potentially one of their last games because no, okay, they both are kind of by, but yeah, it's approaching the end of the group stages now, and teams have to be trying to get as many points as possible. So yeah, we have Dark Lord picked by Resurrection, then followed by Demo and Doctor to finish up the evening. It does come to a tiebreaker, of course, but yeah, I think Alexandre's Dark Lord has had a pretty good run. I think the last time we saw him, eh?
Yeah, he's shown that he's pretty confident on the Dark Lord, and this is Resurrection's pick as well, so you'd hope that they're pretty confident on the killer. But yeah, we're coming down to like these really tense stages of the group these last 2 weeks here, where teams are really vying for the position in the final 8, so to speak. Where these games really matter a lot. A lot of teams sort of they got to win the next 2 matches to make it, or if they lose one and it's bad news, and if they find a set, but we do find someone stealthing here at the edge, but we find Freya here on the Nancy at what should have been an edge mount tile, but it wasn't there. We were just using our wolf form there to sort of 3-pick around corners. I think with a little bit of a dog dash here, this is going to be a fantastic early down to start us off here on the Dark Lord set, and we didn't talk about the builds, but it's a pretty stock standard build, I'd say you'd see on a Dark Lord. So you get Eruption, you got Pop Eruption, Wretched Fake Erupt, and then we have the Lapis Lazuli add-on, and the I think that's the Winged Boots. I don't know what the Winged Boots actually do on Dracula, but I do know the Lapis is the blocked windows add-on, but a fantastic way to start with the Dark Lord set, Tommy.
Yeah, it's like really fast down, which honestly kind of surprises me. I'd have just assumed that our survivors would maybe be stealthing more, but I guess our Nancy was just found while stealthing, and that's a beautiful Hellfire onto Winterfell to take a free tag and actually forces an early unhook. Even though Dark Lord is an S tier kill, I feel like you can delay the pulls a lot more, and this early pull might actually lead to a little bit more pressure that Alexandre can put on, but he's gone for a really ambitious teleport and gone absolutely nowhere. So it's a bit of time lost, but I think the last time we saw him play was 4K1, and definitely looks like that direction again.
Yeah, we do find this is Sin as well, by the way, not Freya. They've just got a different name, but we do miss the wolf dash onto Freya, onto Sin. Sorry, I'm just gonna call them Sin or Nancy. Both of them is Nancy to save this confusion. We missed the wolf dash on the Nancy, but we have our Hellfire here at the start. It's not the greatest against Dark Lord, as he can just kind of zone you a little bit, and with a bit of a standstill there, we're gonna get caught in the tire. And it's gonna be a really quick express second stage here for our Nancy, unless we have DS, but we are not the DS player. We do see at least one gen popping in the background, which is fantastic to see. I don't think he's used Pop or Eruption yet, but it looks like our Deli player was able to get that on hook there, which is great to see. So we do have Deli in play now. Our DS player hasn't not been tunneled out though, but looks like our that's the botany leader. I forget the Yunjin perk there, but that's not the person you want getting tunneled out because they don't have a lot of resources to sort of work against Dracula. But we're just going to be going into a platform, floating around the map, playing our Pop Eruptions where we can. We do find Yuichi here. He has a bounce landing player, but unfortunately not able to get that dog dash off, as we are going to be shifting into Vampire form to try and get a Hellfire. But no, we are choosing instead to rotate back over to the hook. We see the FTP come through from Winterfell onto Sin here, but we do choose to go after Winterfell, which is certainly a choice here. But I guess he's in a bit of an unfortunate position and injured. We do miss the dog dash and we drop our Firecracker in the process, but we don't have any edge of our powers here, so this will be just like a cheeky little M1, unless we're going to see a power save here, but I don't think we do. No, we're not quite close enough to the power save, but this will be another fresher on the board onto our DS player, which does allow Sin to rotate very far away from this area and start doing a bit of a safer gen, and hopefully start getting a couple of those fast track stacks there, Darby.
Oh yeah, he has 3 and they're building up. Something that I experienced myself with fast track is the effect of the fast tracks going past 15 and 20 and me not hitting the skill checks. But that's a really fast unhook coming in onto Winterfell, and of course Winterfell is going to be your most aggressive build here. I believe there's DH and potentially DS as well. But Alexandre is maybe having a little bit of trouble kind of putting up that pressure. I'm really surprised that they decided to leave the tunnel out for Winterfell, but now they've completely, like, I would say, like, lost everything. Now it's lost where everyone is lost where the gens are being worked, and now we're chasing another threshold here without pain res. I'm not really sure, again, if this is completely, I'd say, the play from what we were seeing before as potential tunnel coming in, but Alexandre is not going to be taking that chase, potentially remembering that BL or the fresh hook is there, and trying to find someone else, but seems like No's picked up the trail of Yoichi again, and we're going to be seeing the classic 8-hook tech, I think.
Yeah, we're going for the wholesome Chungus wincon, as I like to call it, the 8-hook full fresh wincon. But we do get the dog dash onto Lesser, which was fantastic use of the wolf there. We see our eruption come through, and we do find Nier, who is our deliverance player. We're looking for any other auras on eruption, but we don't see any. So both of our tunnel lads able to avoid detection, both Winterfell and Sin. On the Nancy there, able to avoid detection, just work some really safe gens. You can sort of play, Ayato can sort of afford to play a little bit more aggressive. There they are, the Daily Sprint Burst players, so if they get hooked, it's not that big of a deal. No one needs to get off gens. We do find Winterfell here playing a little bit aggressively, trying to bait chase, and he successfully does, though. There, unfortunately, Alexandra not able to hit his wolf, getting a bit of a bugged second dash there. We're just going to be applying our pop eruption on this generator. They're lucky getting bat form and trying to find someone else, but we saw Sin working down towards 6 sides, so we do know where Sin is. They're working a much safer generator area, but it looks like we're just going to be teleporting over to that window, maybe trying to fake the TP, then go back for to catch the unhook, and that's exactly what happens. We find Winterfell here, we're going to be ignoring Less there, and we're going to be committing to Winterfell. We get a nice little M1, but Winterfell is our dead hard player, so we have a bit of a situation here where if we commit to this chase, it could end really bad for us, where we hit a dead hard, and then we extend the chase for an extended period of time, but Alexandre should know by now that Winterfell is our dead hard player. We do see 12 pop there in the background, but we don't think we're going to be able to get that wolf dash a little bit early, but Winterfell burns his dead hard for no reason, and that's probably going to be a little bit of an early down in this chase, which could have been a very much longer if he had hit that dead hard, but a little bit presumptuous on that dead hard. Maybe just thinking that wolf dash would hit, but unfortunately it missing. And Alexandra making a mistake there did cost Winterfell a big blow to his chase time there, Tarvi.
Oh my god, it did cost him a lot of time, but then of course Alexandria missed the dog dash, so kind of bought enough time for that the deep 6 generator to be done. So now our ace is not really hooked in like what I would say is an ideal location for like an ideal death spot. Because yeah, look at this. It's not really too much optimal gen split going on, but that's the second win off a hook. I was gonna comment it about before, but Winterfell was still broken when he was off the hook from for the people the previous time. So second win didn't activate, and now it's gonna be active in like 10 seconds. He's gonna be fully healed up, and I think Alexandra is gonna lose another tunnel out here, and yeah, it does just happen. So. Oh yeah, Alexandra again. We've got 5 hooks on the board, 3 freshes, and no kills, which is again, I would say fairly worrying. But with the amount of gens that are remaining, you could still definitely go for a 4K result, which we did see. I think it was in week 1. But yeah, it's just gonna be teleporting around, maybe looking for a bit of eruption value, maybe trying to find some scent. And yeah, that's gonna be Winterfell being located here, but he does have DS potentially off the hook if he did not touch a generator. So Alexandre might not necessarily want to take this chase.
Yeah, it's a bit of an unfortunate chase. Now, he is dead, but he's also a healthy dead hard and potentially back. So it could spell troubles for Alexandre. And honestly, he could have had such a much better result, probably already 4K 2ing by now, if you just committed the tunnel out onto Sin there, because Sin wasn't having the best chases against the Dark Lord and getting farmed off hook pretty quickly by Sanders. But we do see that Hillgen finally pop there in the background, and after getting tagged on Winterfell, we choose to leave him and rotate back over to our gens. We're playing a bit conservatively here, maybe trying to find Sin instead. We do finally find Sin, our original tunnel out from the beginning, and we get a nice little dog dash on them, connecting very nicely there as we do start running into the shack. I don't think we've burned Shack Pallet yet, I'm not too sure. So if we're able to get the Shack Pallet down there, maybe an FTP in the middle, but no, Shack Pallet's already gone. My mistake, I have Alzheimer's, but we cancel Hellfire, a bit of a mistake from Alexandre. He could have just fired it off during the medium, but no, it's going to cost us big time now. Varya's able to rotate all the way over to 12, but no, we're rotating away now back down the map. We have teammates here to take some hits for us. We have Winterfell on a power there. We have Ayato, who's fresh hook, trying to take some aggro here. We are going to be body blocking, taking the hit, buying Sin a ton of time, less likely working that last gen in there in the background. Alexandra on the back foot now. He came in swinging at the start, but one little misplay, not going for his tunnel, and instead committing to the fresh hook onto Winterfell, has cost him basically everything. We do finally find Sin this card, but we've got to hit this health up. We want to make the best of it, but standing still and just staring him down, the aura on this man. We're going to be going into wolf form now, trying to get a little dash in, but we have Winterfell here in the background trying to take a hit, and that's going to be the easiest hit tag for our live, buying Sin even more time as the last gen in the background is likely getting doubled by both Ayato and Les, as we're waiting for our wolf power to come back, but we just need to maybe switch to vampire form and potentially get a hellfire. I don't think we're fast enough to get this down, but we finally do get the down there, but the gens popped in the background, and you get the kill onto Sin, but for what, Tarvi?
But for what, we're going to be seeing staged out the door, Smunk, because there's no way our survivors are not able to get a good amount of them escaping this trial. Look at this. This is only 6 stages on the board, and so much time has been wasted here hooking our death hook. That's already the game being open, and this might just be the reverse of week 1 Resurrection now being sixth
Wow.
stage, that is, I don't think what they were looking for, and that just all came off. That one mistake on the Nancy, missing that window, and that, yeah, that's costed 6 stages. So we'll be back with Sadness's killer, seeing if they can get a 6 stage 4 fresh or any better to take this first set away from Resurrection. This is going as unexpected as we could. So we'll be right back after a short intermission.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to OSL Week 4. This is Resurrection versus Sadness, the first set. Dark Lord here. In case you missed it, we just saw the first half of the Dark Lord set, which was Resurrection's pick. We saw Alexandre, unfortunately, making a couple mistakes here and there that did cost him dearly, setting a 6-stage 4 fresh that really, all things considered, should have been a much better result. In case you missed it, I highly recommend going back in the board and checking it out, because it was interesting, like it was a lot of really good placement, Alexandre, good placement of the survivors, especially at the end there, trying to protect the last person, and it was a really good watch. But now we're getting into the second half of the match here, where we have Resurrection on Survivor and Sadness on Killer. We have the big man Winterfell himself on the Dark Lord, seeing the exact same build we saw previously. And what do we think, Darby? Resurrection, do we see a 5-stage?
Do we see a 5 stage? Well, indicative of week 1, I think they just got 6 stages, so they are up to the task. And the team they were playing against was, I believe, Leopard, so like a fairly fearsome opponent to get 6 stages on, and that's a beautiful starting chase coming out from Raven. So it's definitely like looking up for them, but it's still, of course, like a very, very difficult win con on a killer like Dracula. You can secure a kill pretty much like guaranteed based on his oppressive chase powers and stuff. And yeah, that's going to be a miss. No, I was going to say that's going to be a tag. But Vemden V doing a beautiful job makes this card filler and extends out this first chase. This is beautiful. Dead by Daylight's Monk.
Yeah, Resurrection survivors here playing fantastically there, zoning themselves correctly, just staying away and just out of Winterfell's reach. Always seeming so close, but very near. But we do get a clean little M1 onto Alexandre, as he's going to be hauling ass to the shack here, pre-dropping that pallet. Very wise decision, my friend. We're eating it with the dog dash and getting a little bit of a scent orb there to expedite our cooldown on the dog dash. As we make our way over to shack here, very strong tile, but we're interrupting a worked gen here at the shack in the process. But I think we cleanly make around that door there just in time to get to the window. A bit of a fast bolt there. I'm not too sure what exhaustion Alexandre has in store for him, but he has a shack pallet on the ready. But we're going around the long side of the shack. We're running the cube on the dog, as we are coming to our dog form here, but we're not going to be able to get the dog dash connecting onto Bill Overbeck. Instead, consuming the shack pallet and rotating back into our corrupted gens. This is the exact type of first chase you want to have against Dark Lord here. And then we do ready our Hellfire, but unfortunately we do miss the Hellfire there. Alexandre able to make the corner around into the jungle gym. Now we're going to wait for our dog dash to come back, but it's only just come onto cooldown, and Alexandre holding the check. He's doing a fantastic job playing it super safe, pre-dropping the pass, not doing anything silly. We do see the first gen popping in the background. That will be Wretched Fate active, but our Corrupt is now just opening all the gens to the side of Resurrection, and Alexandre is going for a miracle run here, but this tile is kind of poo if you ask me. So Winterfell should have an easy time getting it down here, especially because he does have the dog dash available to him, but he could also switch to Hellfire at any moment to zone him away. But we go for the ambitious dog dash, unfortunately not able to get Bill there, successfully ducking into the junk tile there, and connecting to the 4 lane as well. That's a really nice setup there on the Wreckers. We're going for the very ambitious Hellfire, missing Alexandre by probably a hair, and we are choosing to abandon that chase in favor of applying Eruption onto some highly progressed gens and contesting these hotly done gens.
I don't know about hotly done because it's like 15 degrees centigrade here, but they're definitely pumping away on these gens, and I think even leaving Alexandre was a good decision. I think Alexandre was our DS survivor, so that is not necessarily the only one be chasing at first. Even though this is going to be another gen done, 2 gens for this first chase. Now we're switching on to Vemden, of course, around this jungle. He doesn't even need to drop it. He just holds W away, and Winterfell, I don't know, man. It seems just slightly a little bit less polished than Alexandre, and just missing a lot of the dog dashes is going to be really, really key for Resurrection here as they give away the second tag of the trial. It's incredible to say this, but yeah, second tag in just around 3 minutes, and Winterfell blocks off the Z-Well as I don't know if that's what he intended, but takes the chase onto this 5 tile, and Vemden should be going down, but that's a beautiful dodge again from Vemden. Gets the pre-drop going on, 3 gens in the background. Resurrection, I think they're looking at this 5 stages and saying it's completely possible, Smug. Oh my god.
I think 5 stages is more within the realm of possibility. Winterfell successfully zones him away for the tile, but he's able to rotate all the way down to the T-wall here. I'm pretty sure he even has still a couple of pallets near the edge map here. We are on Wrecker's Yard, after all. It's a very dense map, but unfortunately we are playing the T-wall here. Remnant trying his best and unfortunately getting M1 there through the T-wall, but it's kind of not the best style in the world. And Burst down on Dark Lord at 2 gens remaining, with the other 2 gens in the background hotly done. We do find Alexandra here, our Mr. Beamer himself, I think, but unfortunately missing the dog dash. Once again, Winterfell, you can't be doing that, man. We do force Alexandria away, but with all this time spent, we're just going to get that pickup, but he's crawled deep 6. He's just trying to crawl to edge map as best as possible. We also see Alexandre, I think, trying to bait the chase onto him. A very confident man there. You can see it in his stride, in his swagger. He wants to get chased, but I think Winterfell made a mistake there, teleporting into Shaq, because it allows Alexandre to just go for a free pull, but Winterfell doesn't give a damn. He's playing for the wholesome Chungus Wengon. He wants his freshies, he wants to apply his pop eruption, and he wants to contest these gens, and we do see FTP coming out from Alexandre onto Remnant, so even if we wanted a quick tunnel out on the side of Winterfell, that's not going to be on the menu. You're going to have to go after Alexandre, who's shown that he's very comfortable against Dracula, as well as being a DS stat hard play, and we do use a bad teleport to go to the hill gen here. It is very high progress, both 12 and this hill gen. Oh, they're looking to be done real soon, and we do see, I think that was Gunther or Raven dropping off the hill there in the background. That might have been our bounce landing player. No, we do see Mr. Raven here in the blacked out Jake try to go over to the bus, but unfortunately Winterfell able to hit that dog dash. Raven trying to play the split bus to the best of his ability. It's not the best bus in the world, but it has a pallet, and that's better than nothing, because what you're in right now, Raven, doesn't have a bloody pallet, mate. You kind of made a bit of a blunder there, and that's going to be your second down of the match onto Raven, triggering our eruption on both the Holy Contested gens. I said there was a pallet in this bus. I'm a big fat line with Alzheimer's because there was no powder in that bus. Also, wow, Dracula looks really good from the inside of his coat. Am I right? Am I right, Darby?
You're completely right, man. I think Winterfell has got his FOV set to 158 degrees, but it seems like, look at that. That's another generator being done as we're talking about the Dracula's nice chest there, and I don't know which generator that was. Unfortunately, we're looking at his chest a lot, but I think that is going to be. Hold on, this is the generator at 3. And that's going to be, yeah, the 7 generator done. So Winterfell still has a little bit of the 3 gen to defend here on the Wrecker's Yard. And it's still looking slightly promising for him because there's this hook here and the pop and eruption is going to get a lot of value. But we do see a survivor here. Actually, though, working the generator instead of getting the pull, maybe a little bit of a failed stealth coming out. And I think our survivors are definitely planning to attack both these edge map gens, and it's going to be a wild Venato being caught by the Pokeball. I mean, the dashes, and Winterfell is now pulling off what he needed to just minutes and minutes before, gets the double dash onto Gunther, and gets the tag onto Remnant as well for this unhook. And suddenly there are 3 injured survivors in this trial, and Winterfell's looking for blood. Look at this, he goes for the double dash. Unfortunately, that doesn't connect, but man, he could just pick up Gunther here and like take the hook. I'm not really sure why he's chasing. And just as soon as I say that, we're both reading each other's thoughts, Smug. He goes back to the hook. Of course he does.
Don't count Winterfell out just yet. He sort of pulled it back from the brink a little bit. We got a lot of pressure on the board. 4 injured survivors, 1 on the hook, and we got a bit of a 3 gen here. The survivors can't safely work these generators because not only are these generators super tight and we're all injured, there's bugger all resources. I think we got 1 edge map pallet, maybe another pallet if you're lucky. We do see the reset happening down in 6, and Winterfell, he smells it. He smells the blood in the air. He knows the reset's happening somewhere safe. We don't find it, though. We do see the reset coming through onto Raven and Remnant. I don't know if we see Alexandre reset or not. Maybe he's banking on a dead hard, trying to bait an easy chasing them. Whoop, here comes the dead hard. It's not so easy now, is it, big man? But we do find Raven trying to cross to the top side of the map. We go for a bit of an ambitious dog dash, unfortunately getting bugged there. And we're still going to get the M1, though, because we did bot into the wolf form Dracula. So that's going to force Raven back down to 6. This is these generators that we've 3-gen are slowly regressing now. It was looking so promising for Resurrection, but Winterfell able to bring it back from the brink. And we do also find both the other survivors rotating up, but no, we're going to be missing the M1. That's not what you want. We're going to have to go for the dog dash now to get the hit on the Remnant. We do successfully get the tag of the Remnant with that dog dash. This is going to leave all the survivors vulnerable. We see the ball in the Gunther. This is no one on gens. All of them regressing. All of them marked with eruption. And suddenly, those 5 stages, that's not looking too possible for Remnant. Winterfell can easily get 7 out of this if he plays his cards correctly, but Alexandre, the man, the myth, the legend, getting a successful power stone on that tile, and it's going to be continuing the chase at this terrible tile, but we know he's our man with Dead Hard. He's going to be able to easily hit a Dead Hard because hitting Dead Hards against Dracula are very easy, unless you biff it with a medium bolt and an air wall. That's not going to be easy. That's going to be another hook into Alexandre, expediting his death hook and an eruption on those active gens, Darby.
Yeah, I mean, Alexandre, I think asking for a bit too much for that chase. It was a good try on the L wall, but I think unfortunately he did lose. You know, at the casino, you know, you're winning it all. You're packing up your money. You go in and then you lose it all. I mean, he still got so much for his team. Like, you know, that first chase was insane and so on. But yeah, that's gonna be another hook stage in, and Resurrection can't really be dropping the game right now because Winterfell could just secure a death onto our first hook, which I believe is Raven, Remnant. One of the two is our fetch hook left in the trial, and a kill onto them would be 6 stages and 4 fetch. So yes, I've done the math, and Winterfell does kind of kick the gens, but yeah, I mean, Resurrection had to be really careful. They drop their ball. They have one failed stealth, and that could just be it. He has Gunther's actually found here. A little bit of a misunderstanding coming in for a kill. I'm not sure, but yeah, this is potentially trouble. They get the resets off, but oof, they need to play this perfectly, Smunk, and they can definitely do it. But if they oh no,
What?
what?
Well, Gunther, what are we doing, big man? We do take the chance of the Gunther. Alexander coming in for a hit. I don't know what that play was from Gunther. Maybe a bit of a intentional bait, but he's our man. He's our pressure. We can't afford to let him go down. We do hit the dead hard. Gunther's a dead hard. I thought it was Alexander. My apologies, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a big fat liar. But we do get the successful dead hard from Gunther as he tries to play this terrible, terrible tile to the best of his ability. Now, Winterfell does have the advantage here with the 3 picking available on the dog. But I got the run, doing a really good job of running the LT, where we do match a rotate over to this power, but the dog dash will eliminate it relatively easy, and we will likely be able to catch up very easy with the haste available from our Ascent Orbs here, but we have a good tile to sort of run here. We have the match sticks, which is a bit awkward to play around Dracula because he's indents and outdents on the tiles here, do make it a bit hard to use your Hellfire and Dog Dash, and we also see Raven coming in for a hit take onto Gunther. Unfortunately, the Dog Dash once again being bugged. AAA Studio, ladies and gentlemen, we finally see the gen of the backup being done. Don't count Resurrection out just yet, because now we're playing for all the money in the bag. We see all the survivors injured. We are going to be committing for Raven, even though Gunther was probably a better take, but all the survivors are injured. We could honestly just slug Raven, maybe bat form over to 12 would be good, but we know we see a reset coming through onto Remnant, so we're not doing the doors yet. We see the men come through onto Gunther as well. We are resetting Alexandre as well, so no one on doors just yet, as Raven is getting hooked as far away as possible from the doors. We are getting a hill hook here, and it looks like we are in a strengthening in a locker on the side of Gunther. Very useful from him, but we're just going to be committing to Raven, and I don't know if this... Is this enough, Tavi?
I think it's the
Is this tie?
5 stages. 5 stages. If I'm doing my math right. 5 stages, and that's not enough for Winterfell. I'm not sure what he is doing, but okay, I'm getting confirmation. No, they need to pull this hook, and that is why Winterfell's camping. So it is. Wait, hold on. Am I doing my math right? What's going on? They're coming in. No, they're pulling this. They're pulling this. They have to pull. And yeah, this is the situation that we were talking about before, Smunk. Like, just those small little errors going into this end game, like giving away a couple of extra like hook stages which they didn't need to, kind of forces this out. Yeah, everyone's here. The mosquitoes are here trying to get a little bite, but oh my, they get the unhook for this. So it all comes down to this chase. Smunk, they can get a flashlight though. That would be incredible if they can, but Winterfell's on top of it, and oh my, this is going to be so close.
Yeah, we do see the bat form coming here from Winterfell trying to cut off, but I think this just allowed Resurrection to scatter a little bit around the place. And hey, a hook and a Gunther here would do him actual wonders, but we do instead find Remnant on the Ace Visconti. I think just this hook here will be enough. We see Hitek coming through for Alexandria, but if we just switch out Drakfall, we can just Hellfire through him, and it won't be a problem. So Winterfell committing to this Wolf chase, just trying to zone them away from the door. He needs to get this down here, but he's playing in Wolf. He needs to maybe switch to Drakform and get that Hellfire. We see a reset coming through onto Gunther. He's able to take a hit. We need a bat form ahead of them, and then maybe get this down, but no, we're going to able to get that pallet. It gets eaten, but this is going to lock us into an animation, and we see a reset to Raven too. They're going to be able to get out. This is not good for Winterfell at all. This is going to be Resurrection potentially taking the set here as we see Remnant out the door, Raven and Alexandria in the map somewhere injured. We see Alexandria here around the shack side. We need Gunther to get the hell out of Dodge right bloody now. Gunther out the door. We hear the calls. We see the pallet. Oh, does he get the drop? He does get the close on the hatches, force Alexandria to go for door. This is not good for Resurrection. Alexandria needs to go for a miracle run here, but he is playing against the Dark Lord. We go for a block on the window there. Actually, it teleports over to the pallet, and Alexandria trying to rotate around here. He's not a dead out, but he doesn't have anything to work with. He has bugger all time left on the clock, and then he's going to be going into the locker. Pull the wrong locker! No, you can't be doing that. That's a bit of an elbow-zer, but we're going to be able to get the kill anyway. It doesn't really matter here. I can't see any reality where Alexandria makes out of the door, and I'm pretty sure, correct me if I'm wrong, Tavi, that is a victory for Sadness.
Yeah, I believe it's going to be 7 stages for Sadness, 4 fresh, and that is more than enough to take this first set away from them against all the odds. You would think with that first down coming in, the 2 gens remaining, that they had absolutely no chance the way that Resurrection were going for it. But 7 stages, Winterfell takes it away.
He did incredible there, but we're going to be going into a short intermission to get the second half of these games set up for you there, which let me quickly check what we are going to be looking at next. It was Dark Lord, and then it was the Demogorgon. We're going to be setting up the Demogorgon set for you next, which will be Sadness's pick, so I'm keen to see how they do there. We'll be right back after a short break. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to OSL. This is week 4. This is Sadness vs. Resurrection. Now, just in case you missed it, we saw, by some grand miracle, Sadness take Dracula off of Resurrection with an incredible comeback from Winterfell. Don't call it a comeback. He's been here for years, and what a play it was. It was a very weird set of Dark Lord games. You saw a fantastic start from Alexandra, and the Dark Lord turned into a bit of an unfortunate ending, and then an unfortunate beginning for Winterfell, evolved into a fantastic reverse sweep for the win there. But now we're on to Sadness's pick of the Jim and Jorgen from the hit show Stranger Things, and this is Sadness's pick, so I'm keen to see how it goes. Now, looking at his build, we have the Barb's Glasses Blackheart add-on, which is pretty stock standard. We also have Eruption, Pain Res, Corrupt, and Agitation. This allows us to drag survivors around the map wherever we see fit. Now, Demogorgon is one of our C tier killers, so the survivors kind of have scraps to work with. They have bits and pieces here and there. Demogorgon not the best kill. We see the Cracker coming out almost immediately here. I still don't know what the survivor was, but I will never know. As he does rotate away from that chase and goes towards the uncorrupted gens there to keep an eye on them and put some portals down for his map ability later in the game. As it's one of Demogorgon's great strengths is his pretty consistent map ability with his portals. We do see we're doubling Shaq, and also we're doubling where the Demogorgon did spawn here, but also, we're scattering like flies as we do take the chase onto Raven here, who's going to be playing this tile to the best of his ability, which is a really unfortunate tile for Winterfell to play on, but with Demogorgon's reach, he might be able to get a cheeky tag there through the power. We do go for the rip, but we get the tag and the stun from Raven, and that's a really unfortunate start for the side of Resurrection, but we are going to be playing the power. I think Winterfell actually just M1 there. He might have got the down, but Raven's going to be rotating around like using Shaq Path here at the start of this chase, but that is the power gone indeed, and Demogorgon eats powers of Rexus, ladies and gentlemen, so we're going to be kicking this gen, applying Eruption, and then Lucky taking the chase out of Raven, who will be dying down 6 side of the map, Tarnaby.
Yeah, he's taking into the corrupt, which is always good to see, but there really isn't that much around here. There might be this filler. Yeah, there is a filler, but it's not the strongest. He's very, very zoned away from any other resources around this. But that's the first gen being completed in the background, just as you would expect it. But Winterfell, again, needs to get this zone coming in, and I think should be able to get it here. Raven looks really, really close, but oh my god, he does make the power. So it's still a beautiful first chase coming in from Resurrection, despite there not really being that much around here. Look at this. Raven is cooking on this R and L wall. You know, I can't play this tile myself, but I just guess I don't have the thousands of hours which Raven does. But Winterfell shows it is just not safe enough as he gets a shred on this RL. Probably wants to get the Pain Res in the middle of the map. Also sees the Eruption aura of Shaq, but it's got to be done. They all three of them were there sitting that gen, and the triple or nothing, I think, at this point, as this first hook comes in on 9. But yeah, really impressive stuff from our survivors. I'm just a little bit disappointed because I personally know that there is a survivor, there is a player on Sadness who used to go by the name Demo, and now he is not playing the Demogorgon, so a little bit sad there. But yeah, Winterfell, he's got a bit of a rough game ahead of him, Smunk.
Yeah, the Gens Res not looking too tight. Resurrection are hot on the Gens. They're a very confident team. I mean, God, these generators are social distancing. They're all 6 feet apart. My God. Nothing really here that you can hold confidently as Dynamical. You got to rely heavily on your portals and then getting this turn out nice and early. I wouldn't be surprised if they let Ravencock in the hook a little bit. We probably saw that teleport being called by our hooky here, as you do just sort of proxy it a little bit, try to secure that second stage to the best of our ability. Again, Demogorgon not a great killer, so got to rely on getting those early tunnel outs there and then applying a pressure in the end game. But I think that first chase and those first 2 gens getting done without Pain Res afflicting any of them has kicked him in the proverbial balls here. And it's going to cause him a lot of headaches going into the match, but we're pretty confident just to hang out by the hook here and just boss our second stage. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see a solo coming up, but no, we're triple splitting the gens. Very confidently here, we do see Remnant as well with a higher progress gen. I wouldn't be surprised if he pops his gen, rotates over for the last second save on the onto Raven, and then during that last second save, we do see the last 2 gens pop. But no, we interrupt both the gens here. Winterfell not opting to kick any of them. We do kick this high progress gen that Remnant was working on the hill, but also we're going to be committing to maybe a chase onto Remnant. He is going down towards the 6 side of the map here, which is not great because we have used a few resources, but I don't think Winterfell kicked this pallet, so we still have this resource actually available to us as Winterfell does take chase onto Remnant here, and unfortunately flanking the M2, that's going to result in a cheeky little tag onto Remnant as he does rotate to the Shack side of the map, but I would not be surprised if he rotates back to Remnant just to confirm the second stage. He's keeping an eye out. I don't think he's seen anyone rotating, but no, we see Gunther swooping in for the save here. No, sorry, Mr. Bill Overbeck, that's Alexandre swooping in for the save here just before Raven was about to die on hook, as we do chase the final chase on the Raven tries to scout tunnel out as we do see the hill gen pop in the background. That was the only erupted gen, by the way, so this down won't stop it. Oh no, so that wasn't even the hill gen. Oh, this is a good spell trouble for Winterfell. This chase is too long. We have a lot of resources available to us. A potential hit take from either Alexandre or Gunther could go wonders here, and as I say, we summon him, Alexandre, taking the hit for Raven, allowing him to rotate all the way down to the bottom side of the map here at 6. We have a car top, but that's just going to be eaten immediately by Winterfell as he gets the chase onto Shack, but we see another gen pop in the background. That was our erupted gen as what we surprised Alexandre working that swoops in for a take. I have no doubt in my mind that he's working that full gen, but no! You see the final gen done in the background there as well as we get our kill onto Raven here. This could potentially be 3 stages on the side of Sadness.
I mean, I was honestly really surprised that Winterfell committed a tunnel out, knowing that the survivors were triple splitting. Those gens must have been high progress, and he could have just gotten potential down to Alexandre, knowing there's no pallets, knowing that he lost a lot of distance with that shred on that top side. Could have maybe hooked there, but you know, now he's gotten Remnant instead, and I guess it's going to be good enough as he takes this hook. I don't think our survivors are going to be able to go for this 2-person pull, but oh, this game has a little bit of progress. So someone was here, and it could be a little bit of stealthy going on for Resurrection. So Winterfell, though, I think, yeah, can just afford to face camp and secure 6 stages, which is honestly one of the lower results we've had on Demogorgon, which surprises me a lot.
Yeah, I mean, and Resurrection are happy with that result? No, we're not happy with it. Are we going in for a double, or are we taking the 6th stage? The 6th stage 2. We're taking the 6th stage 2 fresh. Okay, they're confident with it. Yeah, I feel like if you take that hit, yeah, you got to try and get that door open. But with Demogorgon, I don't think that door's going to open. So we do take the 2 fresh 6th stage there, which honestly, not a bad result for Resurrection. A shame Remnant were down in the end game there. If we were able to get that door open a little bit earlier, get some hit takes going, a 3 stage would have been wonderful. But this is Sanus' pick, so I'm keen to see how their survivors do if they're able to get even lower stages on the side of Sanus. But with that being said, we're going to go into a short intermission where we'll get that second half of the Demogorgon set up for you all, and we'll be right back after a short break.
Now, Sadness, by everyone's surprise, I did look at the tipping, which is pretty indicative of where everyone thought would win. But to everyone's surprise, Dark Lord went over to Sadness, and now Resurrection's kind of fighting back with this 6th stage 2 fresh that they just pulled off against Winterfell's Demogorgon. So now, I believe we're loading into a Raven's Demogorgon from Resurrection, and yeah, he's got a fairly comfortable win condition of 6 stages and 3 fresh. It's kind of funny, though, to me, Smunk, that if they managed to get that 6 stages and 2 freshes in the previous trial, that would have been a victory, but now they're playing for just slightly more on the killer side.
Yeah, it's very interesting indeed, but I'm keen to see how it goes. Like, if Resurrection take this, we are going to be going to a tiebreaker 2, which I don't think anyone was expecting. Like, as you said, the tipping was very heavily in favor of Resurrection, as they've put on pretty stellar performance this tournament. But if they do win the Demogorgon set here, we'll be seeing Jokdo, which is an interesting set to see these 2 sets play. But Raven portaling over to one of his portals, getting that undetectable nice near him, trying to catch maybe Sanus off guard a little bit, and Sanus just moseying about, doing a really good job of stealthing, actually. I haven't seen any disturbed crows or any hints of survivors. No gens being done in interesting areas. We do know that Ace is nearby at the crane. That's Mr. Winterfell. We have Jeff and Nia working, but we have a portal right next to that gen. That's going to give the killer some killer instinct. Very lucky. We do take the chase of the Ayato towards his terrible truck. We don't really want to take a chase here against Demogorgon. It's not a very good loop, and we do a cheeky little double back here towards the active gen, which is unfortunate, but we might not make it. But we do a little bit of a dodge, and that's going to buy us a ton of distance, and that's going to allow us to go towards the car loop here. We do pre-drop the power there, gets us a break on the car loop there, and we're just going to be leaving Ayato and rotating onto someone else. And I think this might be Mr. Winterfell here, or no, this is Posey on Jeff Johansson of all survivors. I love to see a good Jeff, but unfortunately Posey running directly into Demogorgon's awaiting grip there, and then pre-dropping the pound in the background there. Unfortunately, not buying a ton of distance. Oh, Posey's doing a bit of a job bit of poor pathing here. He's kind of just forced himself to die in this corner. And this is going to be really early down on this for Resurrection. I don't know. I feel like Posey made a couple mistakes in that chase, Darby.
Yeah, I mean, he got tagged through the pallet, but his pathing kind of, I don't think there was really much they could do against a killer like Demo. If you're not aware, Demo's actually a fairly short killer, so you can't really see them over the walls of Autohaven. You have to rely on sound, but then that's not always consistent. So yeah, Raven gets that down there, just the 2-tap, fairly easy 2-tap on the Jungle Gym, and yeah, definitely is off to a good start of the game, but doesn't get the pain res, so that is going to be a big deal as he teleports back just around the hook. He just finds the Nia. That's actually a bit of portal value coming in. They did buff him very recently, but that, oh my lord, that would never hit on my ping. So what the hell? There's a Nazi here. What? Hello?
Resurrection. Hello. No.
Yeah, Sadness.
Whoa.
I don't think that was intended, and that is very, very bad because now they can only afford to give away 4 more stages to pop 4 gens, and now Nia's found as well. Ayato in. Oh my lord, Raven gets a tap there. Oh my lord, yeah, and I think, yeah, oh my, I think this trial might be over.
Things have gone from bad to worse for Sadness. I said Resurrection. I'm so sorry, Resurrection, but things have gone from bad to worse for Sadness. There is just a missed head-on, and then we jumped back into the locker for some psychotic reason. And if this was a scrim, I think we'd be resetting the scrims right now because this is a lost cause, and just a ton of fresh hooks just donated to Raven on a silver platter after, no pain res and a gen popping there. It was actually looking not bad for Sadness, and now it's looking actually incredibly bad for Sadness, as we got 2 hooks right next to each other, making a ton of pressure on the side of Sadness. If you're Resurrection, I think they're probably going to start playing the Doctor set right about now, because I can't imagine a 5-stage coming out of this set, as we do see the pull on the Ito in the background there, but Raven is more than happy just to secure the 2nd stage onto Sin here. Oh god, his team's going to be ripping into him for that one for sure, but we are just going to be continuing the proxy camp, just sending Sin to 2nd stage there, as we rotate from the hook there. We saw some killer instinct in the background there from someone nearby a portal, likely sealing it. We rotate up to 12 to see if we can apply some eruption, but no dice there. We do find some lingering scratch marks, and I think this is Posey on Mr. Johansson here, as he has a decent tile to play around. He has a sort of long wall, jungle gym looking thing, which he does double back around and play, with sort of throwing Raven through a loop there, which is great to see. I think that was a pre-drop at the pallet. No, it wasn't a pre-drop at the pallet, unfortunately dropping it on the wrong side and allowing Raven to get that shred down. That's going to be a 2nd stage for Posey. This is also going to be a pain res, I believe, as well, as we do get the pain res down at 6. This is going to be a pain res, and it's just looking worse and worse and worse on the side of Sadness, Darby.
I don't really know what happened in that mid game, but Raven made it work. So I guess we're going to do a set 3, because that's already 5 stages and 3 fresh acquired for Mr. Raven here on the Records Yard. So I mean, if he can't get 1 stage in 4 gens, then he really deserves to lose this best of 3. But look again, by the confidence that they've been playing this trial, and the comp scene being fairly consistent, you should be able to get it down. So Winterfell, our final fresh hook, takes chase. Does have a couple of resources around here, but I don't think it will be enough to last 4 entire generators. I'll be very frank here, but okay, we do see a survive in the distance and attempted card check, but Raven just walks through like a madman, and no one can stop this dog on Records Yard, I think. Well, dog, I would say demo dog, because I should be specify a little bit there. But Winterfell drops Shack Pallet. It's going to be a lot more time being bought out. He drops this other little filler at 7, but I think his luck will run out here. He does have an edge map filler, all right. I mean, let him cook a little bit, but he does play the unsafe side, and Raven's going for the movement tech. Winterfell wins it. Oh, beautiful stuff coming in. Loses that 50-50 though, so unfortunate. But that was a nice little bit of show actually on the rock filler. Nearly playing it 100% safe, and yeah, that impresses me. But again, that's the win con being met for Resurrection. So we're going to the Doctor, and I'm sure all you Doctor players out there are gonna have a nice little time here watching these SEA teams fight it out for the tiebreaker set.
Mr. Herman Carter, aka The Doctor, the bald man himself on Retro Shop. I'm keen to see it. We are still in the Demogorgon set, though, as Raven is going to be playing for the best possible result, and at this point in time, it's looking pretty 4Kable. I think we secured all our freshers there. We still got one Pain Res on the board from Winterfell, as we didn't see it come through on any generators, which is unfortunate. We saw the second gen pop in the background there, too, as we do Tetra Chase and Ito towards this side of the map, and we do pre-draw the power there, which is huge. We are going to be using that to rotate away to to the next tile, but we're running towards the active hook there. We see a little bit of Killer Instinct in the background there from Of the Abyss, but we're going for an ambitious shred onto our imaginary friend over there, as we do unfortunately miss it. We're going to be rotating the chase onto Posey from Ito, and Posey is dead on hook, so this is actually a really strong chase to take. If we're able to get that down and secure a death quickly, and have a 1v3 on demo at 3 gens, it's going to be a huge boon for Raven here, but we still have this a little hybrid tile as Posey thankfully positioning himself on the right side of the power. This time we do take the window there, which is huge. We rotate over to the 12 side of the map here, but no pals to be seen. Like Herman Carter, this side of the map is bold as we go. I assume as the Discord is still frozen, but I hear audio now, which is a great boon, and we do see the hook happening right now. Fantastic timing as we did get the down onto Posey as Winterfell is reset in the background, Tarby.
Suddenly, we're in this 3v1 and 2 gens. Certainly, stuff can be done on the side of survivors, but I think, well, one of them is completely a death hook in this scenario, so you can't really give away too much. You know, you let that survivor die at the streamer end. Tough position to be in 2 gens at this point in time, and that's going to be a little bit of an M2 coming in, and what I assume is a 2-tap, but I guess Winterfell did not have any chances there, as the teleporting was, of course, part of that chase. So yeah, forced to take this hook here on 2, which is kind of outside the gen setup. There's a gen right here, though, but it's on 0, so Raven's not really too interested. Teleports across the map all the way to 6, tries to catch out our survivor here, but they've already pre-left, and yeah, it's just still pretty rough for survivors, because now 2 of them are death hook. Yeah, 2 of them are death hook. Ayato's the only one who's not. So really, there's still definitely 4K territory. But if they play perfect, honestly, they might be able to see all the generators done at a minimum.
Yeah, we might see a 4K zero, but we do get the tag into Ayato through the window, and that hook into Winterfell in the background there was a Pain Res as well, so that hit a gen pretty hard. I think Ito was working. We saw the reset coming through onto Winterfell as well, so we weren't working any generators there for the first half of this chase, and with a bit of a demo dash, we do unfortunately miss that, allowing Ito to rotate back over to this pallet here and play around a little bit more, and he's doing a fantastic job of positioning himself around this loop here, holding the checkies really well, playing around Raven's positioning fantastically, not going for any baits or anything like that, but we are going to be probably vaulting the pallet here to rotate away from Raven, and we do successfully get that, but Raven's really committed to playing around this pallet, and I commend it for him, but Ayato's having a goddamn field day on this pallet. He's doing fantastic work, but unfortunately, Demogorgon's claws are the size of a bus, so he will be going down there, and we saw an attempted beamer save in the background there. Very bold and brave, but unfortunately that is the back of the Demogorgon's head, not the front, as we do see the hook into Ito, who will now be on death hook. So all the survivors are now on death hook. We see someone working a generator on an active portal, so Raven going to be teleporting up right there straight away, and any killer mistake. We don't think we see any killer mistake, but we do get the eruption on the high progress gen as the survivor looks to have sort of pre-walked away. We see Winterfell getting the pull, which does mean Sin was working this gen in the background, and we see an attempt and a head-on, unfortunately falling short again. Flashbang being used there as well as a Cracker getting the blind. Oh, poor Raven. We are going to be bouncing off of this crane there, but showing a little bit of patience. Quick Quan coming in clutch a little bit there, but Raven not falling for it. As you do see the death onto Sin as well there, which is huge to see.
Yeah, so looking like 4K2 everyone on the demo puppy. Even though he's placed in CTO, we haven't really seen that consistent results. Funnily enough, in season 3, like been a couple of 4Ks, couple of outs results, but you know it's kind of a bit all over the place. And Raven, I think, should be really proud of this 4K2. You know, he's hit a lot of shreds. He's played this really, really well and managed the 3v1 as well pretty well. So takes chase onto Winterfell though, around the Nancy incident on the locker, and I feel like they're just going to give away a tag use Winterfell, but there's not really much they can do. They have to play 50s on this little bit of crane, and Winterfell is of course the casino winner here, Winterfell and Ayato. Unfortunately, they couldn't share any of it with their teammates. But yeah, look at that. Winterfell gets this little vault here and buys a little bit of time for the potential final gen to pop. But yeah, I think we're out of resources as well. As oh, he does take the next RL chase around here. Kind of like Ayato's student. Oh my lord, minus rep again for wall hacking. That's going to be 2 profiles signed by Raven. You would not like to see that, I think. And he takes the RL chase again. Winterfell shining. Look at this, man. He's just playing it so well. Runs past as well. Right? Maybe makes it back to the pallet, but takes the outside lane to prevent the shred value coming in. And look at this. This is beautiful. Again, kind of minus rep for wall hacking. Like, look at this. Finally he takes it down, but beautiful stuff from Winterfell.
Yeah, Winterfell with the red boxes on that tile there popping off, but we do see Of the Abyss down here at 6 and trying to commit to it maybe, but I don't think we do make it there, which is unfortunate. I think he's trying to commit to the generator, but Raven hasn't seen them move up the map, so he might just be checking the area. Raven, Aito is stealthing by a rock, I think, right behind Raven, so really unfortunate. Raven, all he has to do is walk behind the rock, and he does find Ayato, so this will be a 4K2 result. If he's able to reliably get that down into Ayato, which I don't see why not. He doesn't have a bounce line to work with here. He just has a hill, a hope, and a dream, but I don't think he's going to be able to make a fast fault onto that window. He does have a fast fault, which is really strong, but it won't mean much as Ayato does go down, securing a 4K2 result on the side of Resurrection. Fantastic result if you're Resurrection. Unfortunate if you're Sadness, Darby.
I mean, it wouldn't have really, I think, mattered what the result was, because with that, like, mid-game, no matter how perfect that would have gone, like, it's just such a favored set going to Resurrection. You know, you pretty much already got, like, 3 hooks in, like, 4 gens. Yeah, I mean, pretty much unlosable. But yeah, we're going to be seeing a little bit of demo wiggling around in the Mori and heading towards set 3, I guess, because Resurrection are not giving up. Sadness also still got a chance in this best of 3, even though they are not favored at all, indicated by tipping. So we'll be back with the Doctor set. Maybe it's Gunther Doctor. I'd like to see that, but we'll be back after we get that set up for you. We'll be back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to OSL Week 4. This is Sadness vs. Resurrection. In case you're just joining us right now, we saw an upset in the first set of Dark Lord with Sadness taking Resurrection's pick on the Dark Lord there, which is surprising to see. If you missed those games, I highly recommend you give them a shout because they were some phenomenal stuff. And we just saw Sadness' pick of Demogorgon where it wasn't as close. It did not go their way at all with a 4K2 on the side of Resurrection. As well as Sadness. I think they got 6 stage 2 fresh as we got that hook there at the end, which was unfortunate to see. But we're going to be going to the tiebreaker now, which not a lot of people expected, of the Doctor, aka Herman Carter, and this is Gunther Doctor, which I'm sure a lot of people in chat are going to be excited to see. Looking at this build, we have a little bit of an esoteric perk in there. One that's pretty popular on a lot of M1 killers and pubs, but I haven't seen it used to much effectiveness in comp. We do have Rapid Brutality on the Doctor. In case you're uninformed, Rapid Brutality upon getting a basic attack will give you 5% haste for 10 seconds, but you cannot gain Bloodlust, which is not a problem for the Doctor because you don't really gain Bloodlust on Doctor because you're constantly shocking. Whenever he uses a shock, he loses Bloodlust, so it's fine. We also have Painless Corrupt and Sloppy Butcher along with the stock standard Doctor add-ons, but they're going for a little bit of an esoteric play there on whoever the survivor may be. I think that's Winterfell there, who was the only person to get shocked. As we do check. Oh no, this is Ayato. I'm blind as a bat. As we do check the Chase and the Shack here. This is not a great place to take Chase if you're Doctor, but we're not going to be using the Shack immediately. We're going to be going over to this jungle gym here to the best and use it to the best of our ability. But Gunther going for a little bit of a mind game here, bolting the window into Ayato, rotating around. I don't think Ayato is able to make a path there with the well-timed Doctor Shock. We should be able to secure M1, but with some unique pathing, we might be able to get that M1, and we do get the M1 there. That's Rapid Brutality coming in clutch, but I do wonder if it gets us any party favors. It does not. We do find the where the Nia is holding the loop there with the Electro Shock. Rapid Brutality not really doing us a ton of favors there, but rotating around this loop once and more. It might be a time for one of our teammates in the back end that come in for a hit, but Aito doing a good job of waiting at that part and pre-dropping it. Gunther trying his best to play around. We do see the down to Aito finally as their gem by the hill does pop. If they popped a little bit earlier, we might have been able to see a hit take here, but we are going to be going for a bit of a cheeky tag here. Gunther is on the Claudette on Deposi. This is a really interesting way to go down. I think we barely get that tag time here, but no, we see a miss!
That is a huge hit that Gunther missed. That's a sloppy tag that Survivor Posey just avoided, and that's huge. Every little bit of time on these C tier sets really makes a difference. As Gunther finally does pick up Ayato and get this Painless going, actually, there's potential for this next generator to pop if they've been diligently doubling, but I don't think so. Yeah, we can see Winterfell's is only at 75%. There's Painless setting about 55. But yeah, I mean, that was such like Gunther's first a beautiful move. We always compliment Gunther for that, but they actually find Claudette here a little bit stealth being found, which is again maybe not the best, giving away the sloppy tag, but yeah, I'm kind of surprised that our survivors decided to double that first gen instead of splitting, because now that kind of means that we might not just see like 3 gens pop for this second down, and yeah, it's just gonna be the case. Look at this. Posey just has absolutely nothing on this top side. Really unfortunate, and Winterfell's actually caught out on this generator as well, so could be a little bit of trouble here coming into. Oh my god, what is going on? I'm getting dizzy.
There's some silly little mind games coming in from Gunther with his red stain there, trying to throw Winterfell off the stripe, but Winterfell pre-dropping that edge map pallet. Doing a bit of the full body nopers there, just letting him know, hey man, you can't commit to me, you're gonna go back for that pickup onto Posey. We did see Ito pulled and reset in the background there, which is huge on the side of Sanders, because that means our tunnel that's a nice and healthy, and they can take a hit and go over the hell they want. We do hook right next to a high progress generator. I don't know if that was a pain res or not, but we see Gunther rotating in for a save here, Sin as well. We saw the aura there. Do we have a Kindred on the hook? Or was that Alert, maybe? That might have been Alert. As we are taking, once again, the chase on the Winterfell, but Winterfell has his edge map palette here to play around, which, if your Doctor, can be a bit funny to play around, as it also connects into this car loop here, but Gunther doing the correct thing and then zoning Winterfell towards inside of the map there with a bit of a break, and Winterfell pre-dropping that pallet there, making it a bit easier for him to play around, and Gunther forced to drop it again. We see a bit of a cheeky blind from Winterfell there, but Girl's got to have the diamond headphones, and he does. He has the spirit mind games down pat as we get a down onto Winterfell. Sorry, a hit onto Winterfell, not a down. My apologies. And we're going to be using that rapid brutality to rotate back over to this side of that, but hopefully catch out either Posey or Ayato for a potential tunnel out, maybe. A bit of electroshock therapy coming through there, and we do find Posey sort of holding the corner at main, and we're tracking them with sound through the wall as they do start rotating around main building. We see gens being worked in the background there. We do see only one gen being worked by Ayato as Winterfell finally gets on another high focus gen here, and Gunther is happy to commit to the chase into Posey here. To get this tunnel out, but we're going to be making the shock a couple times, which does force Posey into an awkward position where they can't reliably down the pallet, but Ayato with a fantastic bit of team play, they're dropping the pallet for Posey and got the denying the ball once more with the shot, but they've rotated to do a completely different loop entirely. They come over to this Eiffel, and with the hit tag here from Ayato, it's going to allow Posey to just have free reign on this side of the map with so many drop pallets and so many resources available to them. They have a shack all to themselves, and Gunther has to go for a bit of a mind game here, as Posey is doing a fantastic job on this second chase here, delaying the chase for as long as humanly possible. He's running the cube, but a shock there from Gunther means he can't bolt him with another shock. He won't be able to drop the pallet, as it just forces Posey to run around the box a little bit more. Does he have a connecting loop? No, he doesn't, but do we potentially see a head-on right now? No, we don't. We see a forced lock grab there from Posey. This will be putting them onto the Deathhook here, Tavi.
Well, Deathhook as in first hook, then yes, it would be a pain res. I say Deathhook. Oh no, he got down before. Of course, yeah. No, I'm stupid. Yeah. No, he did. Yeah. So that is the Deathhook coming in, and I was gonna say like Gunther's kind of struggling in this trial because not because I can't count and that I thought Posey was on the first hook there, but I think it's just a little bit missing the macro a little bit, even though his micro is like literally dizzyingly beautiful. I feel like his decision, like he's a little bit like indecisive at times, and it's kind of costing him like a little bit of time just here and there. And our survivors are just happy to take the time and just sit gens to punish the indecision. But yeah, he's going for the tunnel out now onto Posey. Knows that potentially another survivor's here. Look at that, Ayato. He's getting in the locker here, and Gunther doesn't want to take any chances head on. So that's another Deathhook coming in, and Sadness kind of gives that away for free. So I'm still worried for Sadness, even though that like intermittent period where was it Ayato? No, Posey was being chased was like a really long time. Ayato took the hit and then they made Jack. I'm still worried because they could still potentially be in a bit of trouble, even though the 2 gens pop. There's 2 Deathhooks, and if one of them's found here, which you do actually find one of them, is this Winterfell? I mean, it has to be Winterfell, right? It has to be.
Yeah.
it could spell trouble if like there's going to be 2 quick deaths. You could just turn this into a 4K1, which is an incredible performance if it does happen.
Yeah, we do try to the chase onto Winterfell and Borton, which is probably the ones of you want to chase. We either want to kill Aito or Posey, as we do only have one gen left, and they're pretty split. And Winterfell's taking the chase so far away from probably the active gens. We see a pre-drop there from a shack from Winterfell. That was a different survivor rotating around main body, but there was no blood, so I'm pretty sure it was Sin who was fresh shock now. It is Sin taking a hit for Winterfell here. We see a missed skill check in the background there, which is not what you want to see. We take a cheeky tag onto Sin. This is going to proc our rapid brutality, which is going to allow us to catch up to Winterfell nice and quick smart with the cheeky shock here. That should deny the vault at the L1. That will be a down onto Winterfell, forcing him onto second stage. Which is unfortunate for Winterfell, but thankfully it's better than finding Aito or Posey, as this Shack Gen will pop, which will probably mean outs here. If we're able to get resets coming through onto Sin, Aito, and Posey, that'd be huge. We do see a gate right next to Shack as well, but Gunther's just taking his fresh hook into Winterfell, and he's buggered off. Is that fresh hook? I can't tell. This is... No, Winterfell's been hooked. That's second stage. I'm silly. It's fresh? Am I silly?
Yeah, it's fresh, I think.
Oh, okay. I thought Winterfell was hooked once already, but maybe I'm stupid, but... Okay, well, we take the fresh hook onto Winterfell here, which is pretty good in terms of points, as it is a fresh hook. And we're just looking for whoever this is lurking at the edge map here. We do find the blood out. This is pile of nothing. We find Sin, who I think is also fresh hook. So this is the best possible scenario for Gunther here to find someone injured here on the fresh hook side of things. Yeah, okay. So Sin is fresh hook, which is great because now we can successfully camp them, hopefully. And then potentially just get those 3 stages on the board there on the side of Resurrection, which would be a huge boon for us going into the second half of the match.
Yeah, I mean, that's, I believe, 8 stages, which is a decent amount. Like, 8 stages is not necessarily, like, a free win for, I believe it would be Winterfell, or Sadness, whoever plays it. It's gonna be Sadness's killer. But I feel like, again, maybe it's, like, a little bit of slips on both sides have come to this 8th stage. I don't really know, but... Yeah, Gunther definitely wants to secure this fresh hook here. There's not really anything better for him to do, as the gates are already, like... open like 50 years ago, so it does fake out a little bit, but it's kind of coming down to this. I'm fairly certain that our death hooks are going to come in first and try and trade, but really Sadness don't have that much to lose from this attempt of this hook, because they do successfully pull Sin off this 7 kill hook here. That could mean 7 stages, and we know, like, every single stage matters. Every single little bit of advantage you can get over your opponents matters. And, like, again, we saw in, like, that first set, that singular stage difference pushes it to a Doctor tiebreaker. And Sadness, yeah, they're going for it. They want this. And again, this is, like, really, really high stakes, I think. Even though it's 1 stage, it's still really, really big if they get it.
I mean, 1 stage makes all the difference, Tyler, and we saw it in the Dracula set too. That 1 stage made a ton of difference, and it got Sadness to win there. And we are able to get the save here. We don't even need a double save realistically. We can just force a trade. Actually, no, we don't need to force a trade, because then that would just equal things. They do need to double save this because they don't want any trades to happen, which should be easy, but we're also on a hill, so it's a little bit harder to do. We get the choke onto Winterfell here as we're protecting Sin with our life. It's, again, extremely hard to get the save here because you got to make it through this hill without getting tagged. And we do take the tag onto Aito, and we're going to get the follow-up tag onto Winterfell, and that's going to mean Posey has to take the hit here, but with Rapid Brutality, we might be able to get it down onto someone here, and with Rapid, we're able to go around. I think we just hit Posey there, we would have been fine, but a successful body block. We do still have Shack Powder available to us. We saw a shot coming through onto Adam here, but we're going to be bolting back through the window again, and this is just going to force a tag onto Posey. Oh, yes! And that's going to mean that they're going to be able to get out the door unless they just run into Doctor, but we're going to be playing the hatch, I guess. I think we would have been fine if we just took a hit tape, but Posey is still healthy. I wouldn't be surprised if we see Sin resetting. Oh, sorry, Winterfell and Aito desperately trying to reset the game, but we are trying to take a hit for Sin, but the timer is ticking down. It's past the halfway point. We kick the pallet to make sure they have less resources to work with here, and they just run into the other gate and said, screw you, we're going over here, buddy. And we're going to be hauling ass over there, but Doctor is 15% faster. He's slowly catching speed. Posey desperately trying to take the hit, and we do successfully take the hit. That's going to be the tangle to Posey. We're going to be talking Rapid Brutality, but I don't think it's enough time. I think this is a 4-out on the side of Sadness, and that's what you like to see if you're Sadness, Darby.
That is beautifully done. Securing the additional stage out of the door means that, yeah, Sadness only have to go for 8 stages on the killer side. That's a really again, a really, really big difference from a 9-stage win con. So I want to see how Winterfell does approach this, because that increased bit of confidence on the Survive side, surely they can think about pulling this, what I would say, unexpected victory over Resurrection. So we'll be back with the second half of the Doctor set. It's going to be real good action coming in from, I believe, Winterfell's Doctor, but we'll be back in just a short amount of time as we get that match set up for you. All right, everybody, welcome back to the second half of our tiebreaker set. Well, Winterfell decided to set the map to Wrecker's Yard, and unfortunately, he was not playing a 1v1. So that's going to be a minor penalty of half a hook stage. So now 7 stages for Fresh is no longer a tie condition, is now going to Resurrection. So with that little fact in mind, they're probably not going to be a set for or replay of the tiebreaker coming in, but 8 stages is still going to be enough to take it away for Sadness. So they do manage to achieve this again. Resurrection have been putting on a stunning survivor performance this series, so they could definitely do it again here on the Doctor, but Winterfell is of course out here to stop them. So, Smunk, I'm looking at these survivors and I am not liking what I'm seeing. Alexandre is bringing in that build again, and that is a very, very dangerous build.
Yeah, we also got a bit of a switch up in perks. We have Ruin over Rapid Brutality here, so a bit of passive regression generators. We're able to hook in our active generators. We take the first chance on the Raven here, getting the electroshock therapy on all of the survivors, which is good because it forces them all into tier 1. We get a little bit of a cheeky shock down. I think it's going to be enough to get our burst tagging onto Raven nice and early. Winterfell playing for the 8-stage win con. 7 stages will, unfortunately, as you said, not be the a Tycon, as it will be no Tycon due to the restart here, but a psychotic power drop there from Alexandre, nearly stunning Winterfell, and Winterfell going for a very ambitious swing there as well, but I'm not sure if he's able to play around this, because he does have Alexandre nearby to take the hit, so if he makes any mistakes, he can afford his teammate to come and save him, and he's just spamming a shock therapy there to try and force him away from the silence. He successfully does so, but he has this Tyler to play around, as well as a survivor nearby to take a hit if needed. He does unfortunately miss that shock therapy, but he's close enough to, with one more shock, he should be able to get that hit, and he does try to make the window there, but I don't think he's going to be able to make the window! I'm at a Pocos, he's in the middle of fucking Africa, what the hell? That's a very generous down there onto Winterfell, right next to the basement too, if he wants to take it, but he might just go for the pain res here. That's unfortunate if you're Resurrection, Tavi.
It's such a big deal having this down coming through. You know, Alexandre was there to be his bodyguard to make sure that he didn't go down before the first pain res came in, and now that's actually going to hit the first gen and it doesn't get done in time. So it was such a big deal because you sacrifice gen pressure by playing altruistically against the Doctor, and now Alexandre is just not having enough, it doesn't have gens to make up for that, and although the first gen does pop here, it's technically later than the first trial, so Winterfell's already put in a fairly favorable position, and I'd say Resurrection have to kind of like make something happen already just this early on. But yeah, oh my god, that Pocos hit, you're talking about how like there's a Pocos hit from Africa, and legitimately I don't think there aren't any servers in Africa anymore. So I'm pretty sure there aren't. So you're technically correct. Like I remember like there was a Pedro post anyway on Twitter. There's like showing that someone from like someone was trying to go for a 1v1 from South Africa or something, and it's like I've never seen this before, and yeah, I've never either. So I think their pick is like 100. So yeah, definitely would have hit from Africa, but oh, that's actually an animal coming in. Winterfell actually hits Raven here, and that is a fairly big error coming in, missing that sloppy tag, and Raven takes the next chase, has this entire top side to play with, takes a little bit of a nice piling around the Sin card before trying to go back to the pallet, but he's making it look pretty nice here. Maybe put it in the compilation of pathing, but takes a pallet drop as well, so getting a good amount of distance here. So I'd like to see this chase pan out to be something special. But oh, wow, okay, Winterfell actually changing target for a tag. I think he might have been able to get the down there, but I'm not sure, Smunk. And Smunk is off with his dogs, perhaps. So I will continue chasing this, taking this chase. But wow, we find ourselves back on this Sin car loop, and now I think Yoichi might just be going down here because look at that, the distance is closed up. We don't have a survivor bodyguard here. So that's Raven going down, put onto the second hook potentially, but oh no, he's going for the shock to interrupt the Ruined Totem, and he does find Alexandre on it. So that is a successful interrupt on, maybe that's the Ruined Totem or the generator, whatever it is. That's going to be second hook for Raven, and yeah, I think Resurrection do need to step it up here, because even if they do get a couple more gens done, they need to try and secure these gens before the death happens. Because yeah, oh my god, he gets the basement hook in time, and that gen can't pop.
No, that gen can't pop. It's not a basement hook as well, but it is right next to both Ruin and the active gen, so that gen can just regress for free. Also, sorry, I use an NVIDIA broadcast from my microphone. Sometimes the program just stops working. It doesn't tell me. So there's been a few moments where I'm casting and when I'm streaming, my mic just stops working randomly. So, and I don't know why. So I'm sorry, I'm back on my normal microphone without an NVIDIA broadcast. I'm sorry if you hear me like moving around in my chair and shit. That's I can't fix that now. But anyway, back on with the match, it's actually more important than my microphone issues. We have a very, very juicy hook here on Raven. This is actually just a free camp because we're in the middle of 3 generators, so we go 3 gen. Ruin is in the 3 gen. The Deathhook Survivor is in the 3 gen. They can't just be aggressive on these generators because the Ruin is just eating away at their progress. Winterfell is in a fantastic position here to actually get this win. Resurrection have made a fatal error having Raven die in this area. And then Winterfell making a good position here by interrupting what was either the cleansing of the Ruin or the progression of that generator there. And we do see Alexandre coming in for a potential trade, but we're just going to be shocking him. And it looks like he's very confident in just coming in here for assisting with a double save. That will be a double save indeed, and that's going to be Raven hauling ass out of Dodger. He does not want to be here. And with that base kid BT, he's going to be taking that 10% haste all the way to Narnia. Revenant may be very well coming in for a hit deck here as well to get him as far away from the 3 gen as possible, but he fakes trying to play that power there as he rotates over to main building, and he's got the sucky window, but he does have a teammate here to assist him, but Ruin is going to be eating away at that generator in the background as well, and we do see Remnant coming in for the hit deck here, which is fantastic to see, but all survivors injured on the board now, unless we do see Gunther or Alexandre being reset in the background right now, this will be a potential down to Raven as he has no teammates to support him. He has to play to his best potential by his lonesome around these Doctor Shocks, but with Winterfell on the Doctor, he's doing his best to keep this power from going down. We do see one of the generators in the 3 gen breaking. We can see that actually the power drop from Raven. Winterfell's forced to rotate over to push him off the generator. He's going for the down onto Remnant. We see Ruin popping in the background as well. That's gone as well. But if we get a hook onto Remnant here, we might be able to get a Pain Res, and that might bring us back into the game. Pain Res is an important generator, and Remnant does go down there, but we've lost our tunnel out. So we've still got 4 survivors on the board, Tavi.
It was such amazing bait for Resurrection Smug. They just like, I don't know what they did to Winterfell, but they just like, I guess Raven just looked too juicy, like too much of a good deal, and Winterfell couldn't resist, taking the chase all the way to main, letting one of this powerful generators in this setup go, and also the Ruined Totem for just a tag and down onto Remnant, who's not even going to be like at all in any danger, because of course it's only Raven who's been hooked in this entire trial. So we do find our strongest survivor here, the strongest Bill Overbeck on Resurrection, taking the next chase. But really, Raven just got out of that scot-free, wasted so much time. Winterfell, I feel like that was such a huge mistake from him, but at least he does potentially get the down onto Alexandre. If Alexandre doesn't play this right, yeah, he definitely doesn't make that if you look at the hit from before. But yeah, missing that tunnel out's such a big deal coming into this current situation, because now definitely can still meet the 8 stages required, but you just overcommitted way too much, and now, yeah, I don't know, it's just so much time that the survivors have managed to bring back. Even gets a reset too, just off this main building, and oh my lord, yeah, it's just such good stuff coming in for Resurrection. So it's still very, very close though, because like they give away too many stages. It could still definitely come back on the side of sadness, but yeah, it's definitely pressure is building up for Winterfell at this moment.
Can't really afford to take this main building generator that Raven is working nice and safe. He has to commit to applying pressure to those other generators around the map. But we do hear the lingering Dr. Terrarius here as he approaches this generator, and we do find Doctor on Raven, able to maybe potentially secure his tunnel out. But as you said, we saw resets coming through here, which means Gunther and Remnant available for hit takes. Gunther is resetting Alexandre, so we might see Alexandre or Remnant rotating off of this generator coming in for the hit take here very shortly. But Raven is sort of zoned away from this pallet here, which is very unfortunate, but he's able to make that pallet. He's also healthy, so a bit of a mind game for Winterfell is going to get him a juicy tag there onto Raven, and if he's able to get a quick down onto Raven here, that'd be huge, because that means he's forced the 3v1 out, potentially 2 generators left to do. Main building is still high progress, so hopefully he gets a pain res on that one suit, or just dry kicks it to force it down a little bit. And no one from on the side of Resurrection has rotated in to pop that generator here. We might be seeing a hit take very shortly, as we do see Gunther there trying to take a hit take for his teammate Raven, and he does successfully do so, buying Raven just a bit more time with the pre-draw coming in from Raven. And Winterfell, with that hit take, he's rotated off of Raven, off of his tunnel net onto Gunther, who I believe is fresh, so this will be a pain res as well as a ton of points if it comes to. We also see Alexandre in the background there, ready to take a hit for his team, and he does so gladly. And I think that was the main building there being popped as well from Alexandre. So we've got one gen in the background here. Still got a lot of stages left to collect as well. So we just got to start pushing the buttons here and really getting the kills on the board. Maybe doing a bit of aggressive slugging, because we now have 3 survivors on the board that are injured and only Remnant is healthy. And I'm pretty sure this survivor at the bus is Remnant. We do find Raven here trying to get rid of his madness to work on a generator, but he goes over to his L-wall, T-wall pallet. A pallet? There's no pallets here, you dumbass. But we do see the vital gen pop in the background, and it's looking pretty damn good if you've Resurrection. We finally get the kill to Raven, but it's too little too late, Tommy.
Yeah, this down should have happened 2 generators ago, and now they're going to be able to secure all of these 3 survivors out of the door, making it, I believe, a 5 stages 3 fresh for Winterfell. So Resurrection are going to take this away 2-1. Just at this, I would say, like a last second clutch. It was very, very close in this Docker set. Like, Winterfell had very good potential at the start, getting that early Death Hook survivor, and then suddenly things just turn against him with that one chase going badly. Now it leads to this 5 stages, and they still did really well though, I think, on both ends. It's just, unfortunately, they're not going to take away the additional group stage point. But yeah, really well played for both, and this Doctor set was just great to watch, Snog.
It was good. We had some surprisingly close games. I think a lot of people, based on tipping, were expecting Resurrection to take a very clean 2-0, but we saw some banger games tonight with Sadness. Honestly, like, they took the Dark Lord set off Resurrection. I don't think anyone saw that coming. So, very well played to Sadness. They really showed their A game tonight. Not quite on Demogorgon on the Survivor side. We did fumble pretty heavily there, but on Doctor and Dark Lord, they played phenomenally, and it was honestly just a really close games all around. But unfortunately, everyone, that was the last game and the only game of tonight. The rest of our games are on Saturday and Sunday. So before you go, I'll keep you updated on those. So if you're going to join us tomorrow, 6 p.m. AEST, you will be met with Echo vs Leopard, which will be the Hillbilly set, followed by the Blight set, then a tiebreaker of Wesker. I always mispronounce this. Larissa Marine versus Kaito Kids on Saturday 7:30, which will be Dr. Clown and then Demogorgon. Zetsubo versus Melatonin at 9 p.m, which will be the Blight, the Pig, and the Hillbilly, and then that will close out Saturday. And for Sunday, we'll be seeing Renewal versus Gospel, which will be Ghoul Spirit Unknown, Void versus Sanity. Hey, that's my team. That's Sanity. That's me, who will be Houndmaster, the Cenobite. Wonder who will be playing that guy, and Plagued as a potential tiebreaker. And then ending us off on Sunday night, we'll be seeing Harden versus Clown Crew, which will be Spirit Handmaster and Oni. And if you haven't already, be sure to check out our socials, check out our Twitter, especially our Twitter guy. Our social media team's been working real hard to put out some banger posts and banger memes. So if you check that out, I'm sure there's some stuff there from not only to this weekend's games, but also last weekend's games. So please go check the Twitter account and follow if you haven't already. And also be sure to join the Discord there in the description. If you're ever interested in comp, go for some scrims, some 1v1s, put out a joining for team, get a feel of the community where you belong. And if you ever want to give it a go, I'm sure you'll have a lot of people in the community there keen to 1v1 you or scrim your killer or your survivor team, whatever you want. It's there. Please be sure to join those. Join that, and of course go over to our YouTube as well. We do post the VODs after the week as well on YouTube. If you ever want to review VODs that have happened in the past, we are starting to post our VODs there, so please subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. And with all those bells and whistles being said, thank you so much for joining us to the start of week 4 OSL season 3. I will bid you